our channel, Exploring It All. I'm Miraculous Girl. Join me and my dad where we explore 6 treasure boxes, the outdoors, gear and equipment, and other fun things and places. Before we get started, hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Ding!
Well, thank you for that great introduction, Miraculous Girl, and welcome everyone to our channel, Exploring It All. So today is part 3 of our series for Cybertool Monday. Now, we've already gone through the Cybertool 29, aka the Cybertool S, and the Cybertool, that would be this one, Cybertool S, and the Cybertool 34, which is the Cybertool M, Cybertool Medium. So next, you would think we were going to do the Cybertool L. Well, we're not. We're going to do the Cybertool Lite. Yes, that's right, the Cybertool Lite. This one is basically the Cybertool Medium with 2 additional items. So let's go ahead and get into this, and we will talk about some of the features of the Cybertool. First of all, the Cybertool comes with translucent scales. All of the models that I'm aware of have translucent scales. Now, as my Cybertool Medium, which was the first Cybertool I ever purchased, it did come with the sapphire scales or the blue scales. Those are really nice and I like them, but the ruby scales are actually pretty nice too. So let's go ahead and start with our scale tools. On this side, our first item is the tweezer. Now, I replaced the tweezers in my blue sapphire with a blue tip tweezer. I haven't done that with I do have some red tip tweezers, and I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to leave the regular standard gray tipped ones in there. Oh, I should add, oh, well, we do have the key ring, which is part of the back spring tool here. That's next to our tweezers. Next up, we have the pressurized pen. I like the pressurized pen. When I was single, it came in very handy when I was in places where I needed to maybe write down a phone number or something like that. So that is the pen, and it is pressurized. Next up, we have the, does the light look weird on that? We have the toothpick. This is your standard Victorinox toothpick, ever famous. Then in here, now all of the tools on the Cybertools, all the scales are the plus scales. So they do come with the needle. It's a stainless steel needle. I did not put that in there. It always comes with the needle. It has that needle hole in there. Although a lot of the 91 millimeters will come with the hole in there, but they don't always necessarily have the needle included, the pen included. You have the most recent hex design, which is from like 2009 until current, micro screwdriver, mini screwdriver in the Corkscrew, which leads us to our first back scale tool, which is the 4-groove turn Corkscrew. Next up, we have the awl with the sewing eye. I think that's a good addition to the Cybertool. It will, you can punch through plastic if you need to ream a little hole to push a wire through or something like that. I think that's a really good item to have on that. As is the hook if you need to reach in between stuff to get your wires out. like I said, I think the hook is a good item if you need to use that to get your wires out. So next up on the main tool side here, you have your can opener with your micro screwdriver tip. They say this will work in a Phillips. I like this can opener. This liquid you see on here is a little bit of oil. I use my Victorinox can opener as often as I can. Next you have your cap lifter with your wire bender and wire stripper and your fine tip slotted screwdriver. A lot of people don't realize this is very coarse inside here, inside this wire bender, and you can use this to strip wire. You have your small blade and your large spear point blade, which is very sharp. I've cut myself many a time with my Swiss Army knives, especially when I was younger. And then you have your scissors, which we have the hook, telltale sign that you're gonna have the scissors. If you have the hook on it, you're gonna have the scissors on it. This scissors does have the groove in the back here for the spring guide. The scissors work great. You have the pliers with the wire crimper. In one of the previous videos, I mentioned that I actually used my Victorinox knife pliers to help remove a bumper from my pickup truck when it had been rammed into a guardrail by my now ex-wife. Anyway, and then the two items that make this more unique than the Cybertool 34 is you have the magnifying glass. And this is the most current magnifying glass, and I believe it is a 5x magnifying glass, whereas the original gray scale one was an 8x. So at about 2004, we had the 5x magnifying glass, and that's what this is. Up until from 1973 until about 2004, you had the 8x magnifying glass, which was the gray lined one. Now, I don't know if there's been changes in that since, but that's what the current data is on that I have. Next up, you have your flashlight, and it has a push button light and then a pull back. I don't know what the lumens is on the light, and I'll see if I can find out, and if I do, I'll insert that down below. But anyway, and then our final tool item is, of course, the Cybertool bit driver. Now, the bit driver has a 5mm end in the main end, and then deeper inside it goes to 4mm. And there are 4 total bits. Each one has 2 ends to it, giving you a total of 8 different heads on that. And let's go ahead and go over those. All right, so these are as follows here. Let's start with the Phillips. We have a 0 Phillips and a number 1 Phillips. Then we have a number 2 Phillips and a 4mm slotted screwdriver tip. We have a number 15 Torx, be that side, and a number 10 Torx. And then finally we have a 4mm hex. I guess I should hold these up a little bit. And a number 8 Torx. Now each one of these, and I'll bring them all up here. Each one of these has a little ball bearing type detent that pushes in and out to help hold it into place when you're using them. All right, so that's the bits and how they work. And you know, one of the reasons that I really like this, I'm going to use my small Phillips here. This time of the year, we have a lot of Christmas ornaments that need these little small batteries. And this is one of Miraculous Girl's favorites here. And this particular knife is great for taking care of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I almost had to use the magnifying glass to make sure I was putting these in the right direction. Let's get this closed. Get this open. You know, a lot of these ornaments, you gotta be careful. I don't want to push down on it. Hopefully I installed these right. Well, hopefully my video doesn't get flagged by Disney for utilizing one of their tunes on there. But this is Miraculous Girl's, one of her favorite Christmas ornaments here. So now we have successfully installed some batteries in that using our Victorinox Cybertool. So anyway, so this is the Cybertool Lite because it has the flashlight, and you know, I suppose because they have all the bits in there, they chose to put in the magnifying glass as opposed to the Phillips screwdriver, because they already have multiple Phillips screwdrivers heads in here. This is the number 2 there, so that's probably why they opted for that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and remember, be nice to each other. Oh, and stay tuned for part 4.